So this is the result of last night's pyjamada and pulpo. We got two sleepy girls over there. One may more or less woken up. The other one's still out for the count. And we got the boy on the computer. He has not slept the entire night. He has been in front of that screen the whole fucking night. I think he's an alien. I think he's like ain't natural. Obviously, I can't open my store yet because it ain't happening. So, coffee, news, and a zombie boy. Zombie boy and two girls over there. Yeah. Let's do this here so we can record goings on.
During that attack, and police say they found a second 40 caliber Glock inside of his car. The question being asked, how could he be allowed to buy those guns legally in Colorado? The question not being asked, how does an unemployed graduate student afford to buy them? Look, a decent AR-15 rifle will cost $1,000 or more all by itself. The shotgun and the two handguns would easily cost another $1,000. Spare mags, sight slings, and so on, you're going to run another $1,000. Good.
Yes, Sam.
And then you have all the money spent on bomb-making materials. Which brings us to our next question. As you know, police say that Holmes was an apartment with an incredibly complicated maze of fire bombs. But on the day he was arrested, he immediately told police about the bombs. So our second question, where did this graduate student in neuroscience learn how to make a series of bombs so complicated that the FBI took 2 days to figure out how to disarm them? One official said the intricacy of these bombs is something rarely seen outside of war zones. He had a tripwire set behind the door to kill anyone who opened it. And yet, after setting this intricate death trap, decides to warn police about it before someone's killed? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Neither does what police are saying about this being a lone wolf attack.
Well, all the evidence we have, every single indicator is that this is all Mr. Holmes' activity and that he wasn't particularly aided by anyone else.
But is that true? Eyewitness reports from the scene indicate that Holmes got a phone call from someone inside the theater, and also that tear gas was thrown from more than one location.
He got a phone call, and most people, when they get phone calls to theaters, they go straight out into the lobby to answer it. This person went directly to the emergency exit. He had his foot propped open by the door, and from the crack, it looked like he was signaling somebody or looking for somebody to come his way.
As I was sitting doing my seat, I noticed that a person came up to the front row, to the front right, sat down, and as credits were going, I noticed like he got a phone call. So he went out towards the emergency exit doorway, which I thought was unusual to take a phone call.
So what you need to know is that there are so many questions about what really happened in Colorado. Questions we don't have answers to, and we may never have answers to. What is unfortunate is that instead of really digging into why this apartment would be rigged to kill, but then Holmes would then warn police, and then lawyer up and not say anything else, where he got the funding and the firearms training, and these eyewitness reports that there was more than one person, instead of asking those questions, national media want to focus all their attention on why guns were legal in the first place. National media seems too busy playing the political game, not busy enough looking into what really happened. And that is reality check.
Police reported that they found all weapons used in the shooting on Holmes' person and in his car. The official count is 4 guns, which included an AR-15 assault rifle, Remington 870 shotgun, and 2 40 caliber Glocks, one of which was found in his car. However, if we take another listen to the police audio, it seems officers found other guns inside the theater. There is also further evidence that there may have been another person or persons involved in the attack.
If I'm not going to be on foot on the single side of the theaters.
Okay, last year, reference system automatic, trying to get you into the car.
Yeah, I have people staying the other night, so.
Yeah, all of our officers are saying theater 9 where Batman was playing.
I'm not sure if that's where Batman was playing.
So they're saying it happened theater 9 where Batman was playing, but another LP is saying they're still shooting.
6 now, I need a large core behind the theater.
Oh!
The suspect in a gas
Dulal, ven por pan dulce.
Pero están haciendo un gesto justo ahora.
¿Un qué?
Una emisión justo ahora.
Chico, ¿cuánto tiempo llevas en la computadora exactamente?
Mucho.
Entonces, ¿cuál es tu peculiar disfunción?
La página de Facebook Valor por Michoacán publica fotografías de narcomantas y narcofolletos que aparecieron en las calles de Michoacán, en varios municipios, entre ellos en Acuitzio, Villa Madero, Los Reyes, Zaguayo, el Puente Boulevard Lázaro Cárdenas a la altura de 24 y Tornillo Loco, en Morelia por la salida Salamanca, Charo y Quiroga, en Zamora, Uruapan, Cuatro Caminos, y en el camino a la altura de los puentes del Río del Orejón, en Tinapato, Peribán, en la gasolinera Carretera Los Reyes Peribán a la altura para la entrada al libramiento de Peribán, también en Villa Jiménez, justamente en el puente de la entrada del pueblo.
¿Pero qué dicen? Dulal, te hice una repetición, ¿estás dando el avión? Haz mi cajita en la bolsa. Ya subió el pan dulce, ¿verdad?
¿Qué?
Ya subió el precio del pan dulce, ¿no?
Creo que
Sí, creo que sí también. Tengo que ir a pagar el gas, la luz, tengo que ir a pagar todo. Y necesito que empecemos a salir de esta. Ok. Ahí te va. ¿Cuánto vale una leche de fresa? ¿Grandota? ¿15 o 18?
18.
Te compras una gran leche de fresa.
Ponlo ahí.
Y luego,
¿Quieres que vayas a la
Asimismo,
panadería
compartimos
o
con
qué
ustedes
cosa?
el mensaje íntegro que publica la página de Facebook Valor por Michoacán al respecto.
tienes los ojos, pero como faroles de rojos o locos.
¿No dice nada?
No dormí para nada, güey. Se la pasó toda la noche en la cama. Ese es un acto de locura, ¿no?
Raza novata.
Ya está muy loco tu hermano.
Pero si fuera por ti, y si quieres habrías esperado que ella se el compañero. Pero en realidad no querías, te dio hueva. Sí. Di, huevona. ¿Huevona? ¿Te dijo? ¿A dónde vas, Nanda? A la panadería. Oh, me traes algo rico. No.
Nanda, vas a traer desayuno rico para todos.
Y también
No.
me traes un pastel para mí.
No.
¿Un qué?
Ah, pero tengo hambre.
Sí, va a traer pan tu hermano. Pan dulce para todos. Es como pastel, pero...
Oye, Rosa, oye, algo.
Qué raro, ¿no? Chevy fue la que estaba destapada en la noche y yo soy la que amanecí resfriada.
¿No es resfriado?
Sí.
Bueno, entonces, Una leche de chocolate, de fresa. A ver, puta madre. Una leche de fresa para todos, grandotola. ¿Y ya cómo están los palomas? ¿3 o 4 tú crees? A 3, ¿no? O 4. Son 2, son 6, 12, 18, 6, 12, 6 por 4.
No sé.
¿Cuánto es 6 por 4 las están?
6 por 4
4.
El morado ya funciona.
2 para cada quien.
Entonces ahora, si la soledad.
No creo que todo el mundo coma 2, pero 2 para cada quien. Te llevas 10 por si las moscas. Pero nada de rellenos, nada de locuras.
Mira, ya funciona.
2 pan dulces. Yo quiero 2 cuernitos
El morado, ¿verdad?
de los grandes. ¿Ok?
¿Por qué no me notas todo lo que quieres?
El rosito sin nada. Yo de diferente. El morado.
Ser.
Pero no necesito cositas. Ah, ¿prefieres que el morado no tenga nada? Ah, ok. ¿En el morado no funcionaba?
Ok.
Ya funciona para allá.
¿Tú qué quieres?
Mira, quito esto.
2 conchas. Las donas son más caras que... Pero check. 2 donas. Raza, ¿tú qué quieras?
Creo que valen un peso más las donas.
Ok, pues cómprale como que valen 3.
Conchas.
2 conchas.
¿Cómo que compre qué?
De las que valen 3 pesos, güey.
¿Donas?
No. Entonces, elige lo que quieras. Pero el mismo precio que todo el mundo. O sea, no se vale. Ok. Y quiero 2 cuernos. Y trae para Shami creo que esos muffins te van a gustar. Los muffins. ¿Sabes qué? Trae 4 conchas. A todo el mundo le gustan las conchas.
Sí.
Son 2, 4, 8 en total. ¿Ok?
8. ¿Qué no se multiplicaban por 3? No por 2.
¿Cuántos somos?
1, 2, 3, 4.
¿Cuántos vamos a comer cada quien?
2.
Entonces, ¿cuántas sándwiches debemos
Ahora sí
comer?
la
8.
funcionó.
Estás muy desvelado y muy loco hoy, Candela.
¿No sabía?
Ahora no sé cómo funciona.
Les tengo que organizar semana para vivir el día de hoy.
Voy a hacer un gusanito. Gusanito. No sabes, eso es para mí. No. Raza. Se los destapo.
We will not be silent. We will not obey. We will not allow our government to destroy our humanity. We are the final American Revolution. See you next Independence Day.
And that clip was on the morning of July 4th, 2013, in downtown D.C., just a few blocks from the Capitol, where Adam Kokesh went ahead with his one-man march on D.C. to file their unconstitutional gun ban that was overturned almost 5 years ago in D.C. versus Heller. And I had a chance to talk to Adam yesterday live on the radio for about 20 minutes about why he did that and the fact that his idea to have a march against the globalist occupation of the U.S., or in his words, an end of the federal government. Was that successful across the country? I would say yes, it was. So he's calling, I guess, for another move towards informing the public to do this coming up in 2014. And then Adam also brought up the point that, hey, Alex, don't speak for us here and say that we just want to re-upload the old republic and still have a federal government. We want to devolve back to the states, or evolve towards a more regional government. Look, my whole issue here is I'm not telling people what we should do. I'm not saying specifically that everybody should follow my ideas. I'm just pointing out that the federal government has been partnered by a bunch of foreign offshore banks that are establishing classical tyranny in this nation. Sure, last year it made national headlines. I called for a second American revolution against the globalists, to have the states withdraw out of the fraudulent federal government and then make a decision on what we constitutionally wanted to do, or what the people wanted to do. So in a way, what I'm calling for historically from a research perspective is pretty similar to what Adam's calling for. So I want to let him today really flesh out what he's calling for. I'm just trying to get a debate going about all of this, and that's why we have him on. That's why we've tried to give him a forum here with our audience to discuss it. And it isn't a complex issue. This is not simple stuff like Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, or the latest kidnapping. This is a real geopolitical situation we're talking about, because the United States, like it or not, is connected to this artificial globalism that's been created. And the globalists might also, this is one of my questions for Adam, use the breakdown of the occupation of federal government as a pretext to come in and try to take over the states. So we'll get Adam Kokesh's take on all of that. Adam, thanks for joining us. You heard my diatribe there. Present to us your case, exactly what you're saying specifically, and what type of system you're putting forward, or the type of debate that you're trying to foster.
Sure, Alex. Thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate the chance for this more relaxed conversation and talking about these deeper issues. And as you put it, the geopolitical issues that do come into play when we talk about the revolution that is impending in America. And I just want to reiterate, first of all, what we're saying, and I think you would join me in this, is that we can do things the easy way or the hard way. And the hard way is to keep our heads buried in the sand and wait for the inevitable collapse points and the tumultuous decline of America that may have some violence and pull the rug out from underneath a lot of people in a very dangerous way. The easy way is, let's pay attention, let's take drastic action that's appropriate to the situation. Let's really take advantage of this opportunity to move humanity forward. We're calling for the abolition of the United States federal government. And what we replace that with is state government. And it's not that it's to replace everything that the federal government is doing. We're not suggesting that there be 50 NSAs and so on, but that we have a return to that at least local kind of sense of self-government that we once had in this country, and to move humanity forward. Because in the ultimate progress, what we're looking for is an evolution towards self-governance. And I believe that that is the inevitable course of human history, and that is our destiny as a species, to achieve self-governance, to achieve a state in which every human being decides that they want to be the alpha of their own lives. And so when we talk about the ultimate goal of abolishing all government, it's to replace it with self-rule and a voluntary, peaceful society. So I understand the considerations for thinking that maybe there are advantages to being a part of a larger government or a bigger collective, but really the way we make progress is by moving power locally and moving it down in the direction of individual. And so that's what this is about for me. I wouldn't want to cut out 97% of the cancer and say, well, let's just get back to constitutional government, because it's going to grow back. And democracy itself is what we're talking about getting past here. This idea that human beings should pick leaders for each other, and that a majority, by virtue of just being the majority, can come up with an excuse through that and through a government to impose its will on the majority or everybody else, as you know, leads to the kind of corruption we see today. And I would say that that's inherent in the system, because politicians will inevitably promise something other than what they're going to deliver, which is the special interests that they plan to serve. And that's what ends up happening every single time. And until people say, well, we're not going to give this power arbitrarily to any kind of leadership, we're not going to demand our own self-governance, we're going to have all of these problems. But right now, we see this particular level of government at the United States federal level coming to some dangerous points of collapse. And I think we can really move people to get behind this simple call. And that's why we're working towards this for next year. What we did this past Independence Day was fundamentally change the conversation by starting people to talk about this. But we're building forces for next year. And one of the most important things people have to get over, Alex, and I think this is an important one for a lot of people that come to this movement through love of country, through love of their fellow human beings, that it's not about patriotism, it's not about love for a collective or love that ends at borders. It's about love for humanity itself, love for liberty and love for oneself, and the pride of an individual saying, I don't need to be part of a collective to have a healthy sense of myself.
Adam, looking at this, I understand the idea to get towards local government and then individual government. I understand that anything centralized ends up becoming corrupt and bad historically. I'm just trying to get the public to awaken to the globalists. And the quickest path to that is to point out our country has been occupied basically by these foreign forces who are completely upon anyone and who are the ultimate socialists feeding off of corporate welfare. As I understand your whole point of the federal government is completely shot, completely corrupt, completely full of corruption, and so let's just get rid of all of that. My only point is
sueño. No, chiquita, ya es hora de despertarme. Vamos a montar chingada porque hacer un chingo de cosas. Más de negocio, en vez de van a desayunar. Es más, espérate, voy a desayunar, si no.
Perdón, pero ahora no me quiere decir qué carajo se dice para que me tire del papel de la cara.
Leche de fresa.
No te preocupes, déjame hacerlo para corregir.
Cuando terminen de comer, van a limpiar mi oficina. Y luego vamos a decidir después de eso qué es lo que sigue. ¿Ok?
¿Qué alegan en su defensa los reyes? ¡Protesto! ¡Yo también protesto! Habla, protestante. Protestamos en contra de la odiosa lengua de ese vampiro. ¿Qué tiene la lengua? Casi nada. Tiene una lengua intestina. Digo, viperina. Demasiado. Ese camino insignificante nos satica de sus propios pecados. Que no tiene el vampiro suerte por esa octava. Ya te lo diré, señor. Está flaco porque se chupó a la bruja. Vaya, encantado. Bueno, yo decía que la bruja se chupó a todos y el pobre vampiro no tiene a quien chuparse.